So 2020 is certainly not the year many of us had imagined, but it can still be the year you take control of your money. We've had many conversations with members who have experienced different levels of financial hardship over the last few months and have chosen to turn it into an opportunity to recalibrate the way they do money and change and transform the way they'll experience their finances into the future. And of course, the start of a new financial year brings with it the perfect opportunity to refocus yourself on your money goals for the 12 months ahead. And this year, many of our 2020 goals were disrupted, whether it was from national bushfires, a global pandemic, perhaps both. And this is what makes this new financial year the perfect time to check in with ourselves and, if required, consciously readjust and reimagine our money goals. For those new to our community, I'm Zoe Lamont, Head Financial Coach at Verve Super. Information shared is general guidance only, not tailored to your personal situation, and we recommend seeking professional advice from an advisor before making major financial decisions. However, there's a few key areas we can make sure that we're on top of to kick off the new financial year. And I'm going to start by sharing the absolute key to creating real change in our lives. Then walk through 4 financial areas that, with a little extra awareness and an action here and there, we can ensure that any financial stress can be thrown out the window and we can set ourselves up to be able to financially embrace opportunities that come our way into the future. So, the magic ingredient. Number 1 tip always. Spend 90% of your effort defining or redefining your goals. And if you haven't set goals before, taking a blank canvas and spending some time capturing your dreams down onto paper. So here's the catch. Your goals have to be smart. Don't just write earn more or spend less, or don't order Uber Eats 5 times a week. We see you, we not judge you. Take a moment to think about what you're actually trying to achieve this year with your finances. So instead of spend less, how about making it spend $2,000 less in the next year by ordering my groceries online and deleting Uber Eats from my phone? Or perhaps your money goal is to learn more about investing. But what if you got really specific and made it complete Verve's Money and Mindset course before December 2020 by setting a monthly appointment with yourself and straight away setting up a reminder in your calendar? See how different that feels? It's about bringing your goals and dreams and wishes into action. Simple, bite-sized actions. So now you've defined your goal, write it down. Many stats around this, but we are 42% more likely to achieve our goals when we physically write them down. So bust out those magic markers. And I, for one, have a whiteboard in the corner of my kitchen. And as much as friends come over and often say, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's my 50-year plan." And they have a bit closer look and, oh, that's quite interesting. I'm gonna write some plans down. And so there's 2 lessons we can learn in this. 1, write your goals clearly and put them in a place. It doesn't have to be as public as your kitchen, but it's around putting them in a place that you are going to see them every day. And especially when you're having a bad day, sometimes being able to glimpse at your goals can lift your spirits and refocus you from some negative thought patterns into focusing on those inspiring ideas you have in the future. And in that headspace, you're much more likely to think about, oh, well, what action can I take today to, further that into reality? And secondly, talk about your goals. So while I have been setting goals for many years, I'm quite comfortable and quite enjoy the challenge of inspiring others to set goals also. If you are just beginning on this goal setting journey, it's incredibly important that you share your goals. You pick the people you share your goals with. Pick 1 or 2 people in your life, or find someone in the Verve community who also sets goals. Someone who believes that they can consciously achieve their dreams and plans and goals into the future are going to be far more likely to advocate and support you to achieve your goals into the future, because they believe it's possible for them. They're going to see possibilities in your life and be part of your support network. You don't really want to share your goals with people who are a bit discouraging, because of course that takes the wind from our sails, and it's can be the difference between going forward and taking an action one day, or giving up and feeling a bit down in the dumps. So put your goals somewhere where you can see them, and share them with a friend or two who are goal focused and driven also. So now you have your goals clearly documented. Here's 4 financial areas to give a look over and use this financial year to check on. The first and highest priority is to make a plan to bust any debt, especially personal debt or high interest debt. Now is the time to set up a repayment strategy. There's nearly 2 million Australians struggling to repay debt, and it's a leading cause of stress for so many. But with a little bit of focus and a support and a plan in place, and it doesn't have to be complex, we've got a really simple debt buster plan. It's free. There's a worksheet to work through and just a 10-minute video tutorial. The new financial year is a perfect time to check in, say, where am I at? Am I comfortable with what I own and what I owe? Am I feeling on top of my debt repayment? What do I want to achieve this year in terms of working towards being debt-free, especially personal debt-free? So if you need some help in this area and some extra level of support, check out that Debt Buster module on our Verve Academy. And if you know someone, feel free to share it as well, because it can be incredibly life-changing to even simply write out the debts you have on a piece of paper and prioritize them on what you're going to focus on first. It can be the difference between the elephant in the room and just having some relief off your shoulders, because it's out there and now you just need to take action by action, day by day, step by step. The second area to focus on is to track your spending. So we live in a pretty magical technological age where we can track every cent we spend via a multitude of different apps, and having all our spending information in one place can be pretty illuminating in terms of understanding where we're spending our hard-earned cash. And knowledge is power, right? So there's ASIC's Track My Spend, there's Pocketbook, Money Brilliant, Spendy. You might have an app linked with your bank. Do whatever, use a method that suits you. For other people, they're like, I've tried that, didn't work. maybe try just doing a once a year, download 3 months of bank statements into Excel, categorize them, and get a rough idea. We are not saying, the good news is we are not saying draw up a budget and place restrictions in your life. All you need to do is simply look over your spending patterns, and so you increase your awareness in your spending areas. And let me tell you, the magic will happen. Just watch and see. The third area is get your taxes sorted early in the new financial year. So if you haven't already, make this year the year you develop a system for your taxes. And it's incredibly, and I remember, and I've shared this before, I remember, oh gosh, every tax time, pretty much crying as a small business owner, starting out for years. It was an incredibly painful time. And now that I've actually mastered a system that it's just become second nature, that every time a receipt comes in, it's saved in the same place. And so at tax time, I can just share that Dropbox folder with the accountant and it's painless. But it takes some time to get there. And it's just about deciding what's the best system for you. So is it using the ATO's My Deductions app? Is it using an existing bookkeeping system if you're self-employed, or is it, an old school shoebox? Whatever floats your boat, just having a system is the key. And also, not only does it make the lodging your tax return a whole lot less stressful, for you and your accountant, but it could also result in a bigger tax return, because the more expenses you claim, the better tax result you're going to have. So the fourth area, and one future you is going to be incredibly grateful you gave some attention to, is to consider automating personal super contributions. In the same way that your phone bill or your Spotify subscription comes straight out of your bank account every month, so can a personal contribution to super. And the benefits of investing extra into your super and your future self are numerous. Obviously, just the basics of small amounts over time, layered with the magic of compound interest, can mean literally a wealth of more choices and opportunities you give future you. So consciously, every time money comes in, consciously shifting some aside for future you can mean you're taking powerful steps to financially support future you today. So when it comes to making personal super contributions, you can make a one-off lump sum or opt for a recurring transfer and set or forget. If you're a Verve member, simply log into your member hub, choose personal contributions and follow the prompts. It literally takes less than 5 minutes. I actually did it myself last week. So wishing you a fresh new start to the new financial year. Set a goal, take an action, and experience the rewards.